Hi, this is Axel Rudi Pell and you're watching CMS TV.
But now it's do or die. Young hearts forever. Sure, no time to cry. We face the storm. The fate clouds the sky. Would be safer in the swarm with the blink of an eye. No time for prisoners. We just are hit and run. Look at the villain, loading the gun.
It is CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin. And as you guys that watch the show know, I am a huge fan of this guy. I have a business with his singer, for God's sake, so I'm certainly a fan on that level. But I love the music. It's always great. The band and the guy is Axel Rudi Pell. The new album is called Risen Symbol. It is the normal level of fantastic that you expect. And here to talk all about it is the guitarist himself, Mr. Axel Rudi Pell. Alex, how are you, man?
Hi Chris, how are you? What most people say, Axel Rudi and Pell, isn't one idiot enough?
Nice. Well, Axel, let's dig into this thing, man. This is what you expect from Axel Rudi Pell. It's that simple. It's
Yeah.
You're a consistent writer. You're a consistent musician.
I'm always writing, of course, yes, because the fire inside myself is still burning, the flame is there, and I want to go out. I want to go out, play live. I want to throw my guitar up in the air, and I want to make music, and that's my life, Yeah.
Right on.
I love it. I still love it, baby.
Well, and you've done so many records at this point. What is it? How do you decide when it's time to do a record? Do you just collect riffs until you feel ready, or do you work on a timeline? Because you guys are very consistent in that level too, as far as how often you put out records.
I have to explain that I'm writing every time. When the record is finished, I close the studio door, going back home, putting my gear in my house, and I pick up the guitar after a 2 or 3 day break, play again, and say, whoa, this riff is fucking, it's awesome, this riff is awesome. And I press the recording button of my cell phone now, the voice recorder, just to have this riff. And then I sit down. So I'm collecting little bits and pieces over a period of several months, And then I sit down, make a big sheet of paper, and I listen back to all this little snippet. I say, whoa, idea number 3 fits perfectly to idea number 78. The rest in between is la-la. But idea number 212 is great, fits perfectly to idea number 3,675. No, I'm kidding. And then I make the real songs. So it's not, the record company knows exactly that at least I don't need 2 years to write a new record, which is cool, Maybe I need 1.5, sometimes in between. So the magic has to be right in the air. Yeah.
Sure. How do you keep it fresh for yourself? Is it just because you're always playing that it stays fresh?
No, normally I'm not listening to much music in between. So
okay.
Especially when I put these little bits and pieces together, I don't listen to any music because it destroys the creativity, So it's just there. It's there or not. If I have an idea, it's good. It happens that I recorded little snippets which I listen to later, and I say, oh no, this is not good. I can't record it. I don't know what drove me when I recorded this, but it's not working. Who cares?
Right on. Well, Axel, one of the things that I certainly know is that your bandmates have other bands that they do, other projects that they do, etc. How do you coordinate their schedules to your schedule for not only touring but recording?
I force them with big money. I'm kidding. They're all overpaid. No, I'm kidding again. No, it's really the truth is that I have to plan everything, schedule it 1.5 years before it actually will happen. That's not a big deal, because Johnny, the vocalist, Johnny Gioeli, always told me ARP is my main priority. He don't want to book with his own band or solo artists. The same with the keyboard player. He's playing so many projects and helping out other people's bands. But the main priority is ARP, so it's working perfectly. Yeah.
Right, definitely, and I mean, I know Johnny very well because, like I said earlier, me and him have the business together, so we talk damn near every day.
Together, okay.
What's that?
And you have a business together.
We do, yeah. We do the starving artist business together that I'm sure he's talked to you about. So talking to him all the time, I know how busy he is. But you're right. I know, like I know last year when it came time to do the vocals, he pushed everything aside, even for us. He's like, okay, I'm not available from Monday till next week to do vocals.
That's right. I mean, that's the reason why he's in ARP. He's a very nice guy. He's easy to work with, and he's a very professional singer. I can't say anything bad about Johnny, and he's great. I love you, Johnny.
Well, and that is a great situation for you to have. I'm sure you're aware most bands, that have been around as long as ARP.
Yeah.
Changed singers numerous times, not just once or twice. And I think there's been just Johnny and Jeff?
Yeah, right. And I had the rock before that. And
okay,
Johnny,
yeah.
And Johnny's the fourth singer in my band, but the last, I hope.
Right.
Not that I will die tomorrow, but anyway. No, what was the question again? Oh, yeah, the changing of singers. Most people, or most bands, they do a big mistake. They see each other too often. For example, when you're living in the same city, you are 3, 4, 5 friends getting together, rehearsing 3, 4, 5 times a week. That's definitely way too much because you're going on the other nerves. Once a guy said, "I don't feel like rehearsing today, but I have to because I'm playing in that band." That's not really good. You have to make a room distance. And you have to have space between you see each other again. What happened is, we don't see each other very often because 2 guys living in America, 3 guys in Germany, 1 is living in the north of Germany. Anyway, who cares? I mean, when we're getting back together and at studio work or for rehearsals for the tour, or even when we are touring, that's one big happy family. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody talks about what happened in between to them. We're telling jokes, we're having fun, and that's perfect. And the chemistry is right. I hope it always will be right.
Nice. Well, Axel, you have this new release called Risen Symbol, and as we've gone forward, in music, it's always changing, and certainly for the last while now, you've done quite a bit of work where you record a piece, or a piece is recorded and it's sent to Johnny, and he does his piece and sent back.
Yeah.
We're now getting into this world with this AI. Are you involved in that at all, or have you dabbled in that?
I love AI. I love it because I created the cover artwork this time for the record. I created with AI by myself.
Okay.
Because it took me a long time to get the right prompts, the right sentences, and the right things you have to write in there to get a really good output. Took me a while, several weeks or at least several months. But when I had the artwork done, I said, "Whoa, this is amazing! How can I explain this great artwork to any other guy who's doing it by hand or whatever?" I love AI as long as it's not taking over the humans. Incomplete.
Sure. Do you use it in the music as well, or just art?
Never. I never found out if there's anything. Probably it is where you actually can write a song or write a song in the style of or whatever you go in there. But I never tried it and I never will because it's my own creativity. Yeah.
Right, and you don't want to cut your own throat with letting the computer do you.
That's right. Exactly. You're telling the truth.
Right on, man. Well, Axel, let's dig into the new record a little bit. I always try to start with my favorite song on the record. For this one, it's Crying in Pain. Great tune, a little deeper in the record. Tell us about that song.
It's a ballad. It's another ballad written by me, myself, and I. I don't know much about that song. I mean, normally I don't sit down and say to myself, "No, I have to write a ballad because the ballad has to be on a record." I don't like the idea. Nobody forced me to put out any ballads. It comes naturally to my mind. I think it's a great track. It's a great ballad. It's very emotional. Starts very clean. Got a distorted rhythm guitar at the chorus part, but I love it.
Sure. Talk a little bit, Axel, about your love of ballads in general, because as a guitar player, you're supposed to be as fast as you can for a lot of people, but you love ballads. You do them constantly. You have several releases of just ballads. What is your affiliation for ballads?
First I have to tell you that I'm not a guitar player who writes a solo and builds the rest of the song around it, because that's bullshit. Sure. That's not working. So when I play guitar, and I'm especially playing a solo, I try to put my inner sleeve, my soul and my heart through my fingers into the sound of the guitar, into the tones, into the notes, into the tone, And you can do it. Where can you do it better than in a ballad? Long notes, maybe just 5, 6, or 7 notes in a solo, but who cares? As long as emotion is transported to your heart, to the listener's heart, it's great. So I love ballads.
Right on, definitely.
Yeah.
Axel, another one I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm going to say this wrong, but was it Ankaia? Yeah. It may be the longest song in your catalog. It's certainly one of the longest. Why did you decide to write such a big, epic song like this?
Because, when I first had the riff for that track, I said it has to be a magnum opus. I can't put all these huge things into 3 or 4 minute songs. It's not working. It has to be. It has to get you. I don't know. It needs that length, definitely, because it's building. You have a special middle part, an orchestral part, and I think it's one of the best tracks that we ever recorded. So I really love that track. Yeah. I think the story is about Ankaia. It's a fictional city created by myself, me and I, not by AI. Nope. It's about a guy who's in the desert, runs out of water, crawling through the sand, very thirsty. Suddenly you see the huge pyramid in the back. Life goes on with all water is there and fruits and whatever he likes. And he's going, the last few feet, and I'll be there. And when he's there, he said, oh, it's a mirage, a miracle, it's a Fata Morgana. It doesn't exist, And then he said, oh, what the fuck? Sorry. Then he had to leave again, So, yeah, that's a story about Ankaia.
Okay. Yeah. What with that song is a song that's epic like that and longer like that? Is it harder to create because you're not doing it with a band in a room together where you could flesh it out?
No, definitely not. There's no difference. I mean, actually, sometimes it's very tough. Even sometimes it's harder to write a track which is only 4 minutes long or 4.5, because you don't have so much time to get the right feeling for the track. It has to start immediately. It has to hit you. So sometimes it's easier to write a longer track. No problem.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, one last track I wanted to talk to you about on Risen Symbol is the Zeppelin track.
Okay.
I always love how you rearrange things, like your Hey Hey My My and stuff. I love how you whenever you do a cover, it's very rarely just a mimic of the original. This one is no exception. It's got that big intro to it before it kicks in.
Right.
What made you decide to cover the Immigrant Song? And, obviously taking on Led Zeppelin is always a challenge.
Yeah, of course it is a challenge. Of course, this song actually follows me since it came out in 1972. I love that track from the very beginning. But I thought to myself, there's no guitar solo on it. Why is he not playing any guitar? I mean, Jimmy Page is a good player, So there's no guitar solo. It's very short. It's only 2 minutes 30 seconds or 2 minutes 45. Can't remember. So this song, like as I said, it followed me since then, since it came out. I said one day I have to do a cover version, but make it different, a little different from the original. And now with the Egyptian background, with the pyramid, with weird sounding stuff, oriental sounding things, I think it was the right time. We say, okay, we're doing it now, and we did it, and everybody loves it. It's different. Of course, it follows the main melody, the structure of the songs, the riffs, but the beginning is complete new, and the solo is complete new. And what else? I don't know. I love it.
Right. No, I agree. And I'll tell you one thing that's different is Johnny's presentation as well is a little bit different than the straight up Robert Plant clone mix that you would expect.
Yeah, exactly. But I love Johnny's vocals on this song. I think he loves them too. I think he did a very good job on that. Yeah, respect to it. I raised my head.
There you go. Nice.
Great.
Well, Axel, obviously the bread and butter of Axel Rudi Pell has always been touring. What are the touring plans for Risen Symbol?
We're starting actually with the first show this year. Will happen on the 13th of July at the festival show in Bulgaria. We're a co-headlining band at that day. I think Mr. Big is playing there at Vandenberg and who else? I can't remember. Who cares? So and then we have a few headlining shows in Germany going on in the summer, and then we're playing again at Europe's most biggest whatever festival, the Wacken Open Air. We'll be playing there on the main stage. It's very exciting. We're so much looking forward, because when you're standing there, when you really see the people who say that 8 million, or is it 10 million people? I don't know. No, it's just, I think, a couple of 100,000, whatever. It's huge. We're very looking forward to it, very excited about it. Then we continue. We're playing festivals in the Czech Republic, in Switzerland, in I don't know where else, a couple of festival shows. And then we're starting our headlining tour at the beginning of October, runs through the whole October. And then we're making a few month break, and then we're starting with the second leg of the tour from maybe February to April next year. But not quite sure about this period. Yeah.
Sure. Very good. Let me ask you real quick about Wacken. Certainly it's amazing, and playing in front of 100, I can't even fathom that. But you've obviously done it. You've played big shows in your career, but do you still, at this point, when you step out in front of 120,000 people or whatever, do you still have butterflies, or is it old hat at this point?
It's not. I'm nervous. The stage fright is there, but only for a couple of maybe 2 minutes for showtime. Okay. The countdown starts, and you have to go because you have to be right on time. Otherwise, it will throw you out from stage or whatever. So when you're starting, for my personal opinion, the stage fright and this, I don't know, it's gone after the half of the song. It's over. I'm there. I'm having fun. I'm really having fun. And when you get your applause after the first track is over, that's even better. You say, oh, maybe we're doing it right.
Right. Does it make it harder the next gig? Is the next gig when there's not 100,000 people, when there's 2,000 people, say, does that make that gig harder or disappointing or anything at all, because you're just looking at so many less people?
No, definitely not, because it doesn't matter if you're playing in front of 100,000 or 1,000. It doesn't make any difference. Mostly when we're playing a headline shows, we have no 100,000 people. Of course, we're not.
Sure.
So, but it's harder to get the audience on the festival, because they're not there to see just you. They're there because they want to be at the festival and having fun. So it's harder to get them to say, "Hey, that's a great band." But when we're playing headline shows, a few hundred or a few thousand only. Excuse me. The people pay to see you and you performing, and sometimes it's even harder to be good at that time, because they only want to see you and nobody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, Axel, I somehow don't think you have any problems pleasing the Wacken audience. Your music plays very well to the Europeans, that's for sure. As it does to us diehards here in America. New album is called Risen Symbol. It is Axel Rudi Pell. And Axel, where should we tell people to go to actually buy it? And we tell everybody, don't just stream it, buy something, buy vinyl, buy a CD, buy something, where should we tell people to go to do that for you?
Why? Because it's the best record you ever hear in your life. It's got emotion, it's got power, it got strength, it got everything. So it's great. I love it. Everybody loves it. And if you like it as much as the band like it, great. Thank you.
Is there a website to go to buy it?
Oh yeah, but especially I don't know. I don't have any clue.
Google.
Not on my personal website, so it's not there.
Okay, very good.
I don't sell it by myself, but you can buy it in the store on Amazon or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Best place, Google.
Right. Yes, that's a good idea.
There you go. Nice. Well, one more time, the album is Risen Symbol. It is Axel Rudi Pell. Go and get it. I believe it's out by the time you see this. It'll be out. So, so go check it out. And Axel, as always, man, it's great talking to you here on Chris Akin Presents.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. Always a big pleasure for me. You know, I appreciate it very much, and thank you.
My darkest